It's ChrystalChyna, and we are back with another Musicology.
We're back, y'all, with another video.
Thank you guys so much for all of your responses on our last few videos. We really have been enjoying the great responses and shares and the love. Thank you so much. It is our mission to make sure that
we get it right.
And that we keep pushing and making sure that none of these artist names just go into collective amnesia.
That's our main goal.
That's our main goal.
And this is a lot of fun for us.
This is a lot of fun for us.
Before we go any further, if you aren't already, make sure you are a subscriber of ours.
Click that subscribe button for more
right
videos
now
because more videos are coming.
Yes, more exciting videos are coming. Not even just Musicology 101. So many other things are coming, and we want y'all to be the first to know because you deserve to be the first.
We love
our
y'all.
Channel is your oyster.
Yes.
Okay? It's your world, baby.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you want to be the first?
Without further ado, we're going to get into episode 4?
It's episode 4
of Musicology 101 with ChrystalChyna.
You know we got to do our drum roll.
Okay. So, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Ready?
Billy Preston, period. I'm really excited about this one.
Yes, we've been looking forward to doing one on Billy Preston since we decided to do Musicology.
Right.
So,
here it is.
Billy Preston was a singer and musician, and he was born William Everett Preston on September 2nd, 1946.
A Virgo.
and he was born in Houston, actually.
Yes,
born in Houston.
Texas. 1949, him and his family, they did make the Great Migration over to Los Angeles, California.
Another one of those Great Migration babies.
Yes, honey. Oh, that's one of the reasons why we call Billy Preston a South Central legend because he is a South Central legend. He's a South Central legend. Yes. His mother, Robbie Preston Williams, supported Billy and his 3 sisters, Gwen Gooden, Letty Preston, and Rodina Preston Williams, by being an organist at Victory Baptist Church.
And at this time as well,
yeah,
Billy himself was already a child prodigy.
Right.
By the time he was 4 years old, he already knew how to play the organ, and he had never even had a formal lesson. He just played by ear.
And how amazing is that?
Exactly. With Billy being a child prodigy, word was getting around about this talented little boy who could play the organ.
Right.
So it was, amazing that him being so young to be still a little boy and back Mahalia Jackson on the organ.
Right.
The great Mahalia Jackson, none other than the voice of gospel.
That was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
I had to do one on her.
Yeah, I think we should.
Oh, gosh.
Because I think people think, oh, Mahalia Jackson, that's just gospel. That's the gospel world.
It's
but
like,
people
that's
don't know
American history.
She was very mainstream.
Yeah.
Not just mainstream gospel, mainstream music.
Artist, period. She is American history. Yeah. We got to teach the children. When Billy was 11, he got the chance to be on Nat King Cole's NBC show. That was a big deal because also
Nat King Cole was the first black person ever to have his own TV show.
Exactly.
Just put that out there.
And the icing on the cake is that he got to do a duet with Nat, and they got to sing the Fats Domino hit song Blueberry Hill.
I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill.
That one. Yeah.
Around that same time, Billy worked with Nat again on the movie St. Louis Blues, which was a biopic of W.C. Handy, in which Billy actually played a younger W.C. Handy, the child version, and Nat played the adult version.
How cool
he was working.
He was working. He was only 11.
Yes.
We watched that not too long ago.
We did.
Actually.
We watched the whole thing. I loved it.
At the age of 16, Billy was hired by Little Richard to be an organist on his European tour. And it was on this exact tour
in Hamburg
that Billy Preston met the Beatles.
And Sam Cooke.
I was born by the river. Oh my God! I want us to keep in mind why we are bringing up the Beatles and like Sam Cooke, because Billy was able to specifically have a working and personal relationship with the Beatles, able to have a special career with Sam Cooke. And mind you, this is also a few years before Sam Cooke was actually murdered. So this is actually big parts in his career already happening while just being on this tour as an organist.
Billy soon built his own relationship with Sam Cooke, and he also signed to Sam Cooke's record label, and he did work with Sam Cooke as well on his Night Beat album. But it was on Sam Cooke's label that Billy released his debut album called 16-Year-Old Soul.
I love that.
Yes.
I love 1965, due to Billy already releasing 2 albums before he was even 20.
Right.
Really? Yeah, he wasn't even 20 yet. He got the chance to be on the rock and roll variety show Shindig, which was a big deal. Actually, I might put that footage in the description if I can find it. But yeah, I have seen that before, which is really cool. I mean, I will hope people would know. Black people, we are the innovators of rock and roll.
We are the creators.
We are the creators. So I love this. Billy Preston Musicology report is very exciting for me because, first of all, that church influence is so heavy that he already had it. He was literally virtually born into it, and it's so, like, I'm just so excited to be doing this on him.
It is kind of personal.
Yes, very personal.
I love Billy.
I love Billy Preston. Period.
In 1967, Billy joined Ray Charles's band, and through this, he gained a lot of exposure. He was commissioned to do session work for other artists.
Other big artists.
Major.
And he kept going. Going back to what we said earlier, back when we was talking about Billy back in 1962 on tour with Little Richard, he befriended the Beatles. So this was a very important, like we said, important relationship. After befriending the Beatles back in 62, it came back full circle. Exactly. That's literally perfect.
Yes.
Billy joined the Beatles on their Get Back sessions back in 1969. And actually, it was John Lennon's idea to actually add Billy Preston to the Beatles lineup as the fifth member of the Beatles. But, Paul McCartney... this is understood. He was a little hesitant, when it comes to that shmoney. Yeah. He was hesitant because it was already difficult doing business before other members. He said, child, I don't know. He did contribute. He contributed the organ, and he contributed electric piano. So that was also, he also brought a new sound. He brought the gospel to the Beatles.
Exactly.
How amazing is that?
The gospel.
Exactly.
So around the time of the Get Back sections
in 69,
Billy actually signed with the Apple label, and he released the George Harrison produced album.
That's the way God planned it.
Period. Billy was the first to record George Harrison's composition of My Sweet Lord.
And that record, My Sweet Lord, was also on Billy's 1970 Encouraging Words album that was also co-produced by George Harrison.
Billy did leave the Apple label, and he signed with A&M, but he still maintained a close working relationship with the Beatles.
While on A&M, Billy did go ahead and release I Wrote a Simple Song, which had the track Out of Space, which was very rich in those funk tones. Very, not just rock and roll, which was what he was already doing, very funk based, very funk, synthesizers type of thing. It was an instrumental track, no vocal, nothing. That was all him, very electric sounding. He went ahead and released that, and that did go ahead and score him a Grammy.
The Grammy.
And a gold record, selling over 1 million copies. So he was, he was getting up there.
He already had built his relationships.
Yeah, he was
maintaining relationships, and he was
elevating the sound.
Yes, elevating the sound, putting people on.
Exactly.
Billy also still went on to release 3 successful singles. Will It Go Round in Circles?
Will it go round in circles?
Hey.
Will it fly high like a bird up in the sky? That's Chuck. Yeah, and then Nothing from Nothing.
Nothing
from nothing leaves nothing. You gotta have something if you wanna be with me. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You gotta have something if you wanna be with me. Yeah. Period.
A proverb.
Literally a proverb.
You gotta have something if you wanna be with me.
And then also he released Space Race, and each one of those singles sold over 1 million copies. Period. So after all of that success, in 1975, he went on to go ahead and work with his longtime co-collaborator, Bruce Fisher, and they co-composed the beautiful song, my favorite, her favorite,
You Are So Beautiful.
And that song was actually written about Billy's mother because they were so close.
Yes. People say he was really attached to his mom.
Right.
And I get that.
Because I am attached to
I'm
my
attached
mom.
to my mommy. We're attached to our mom.
I love you, mommy. Love you, mommy. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see everything that I hope for? Everything that I need. You are so beautiful to me. I love you, sissy. Moving on. That song is so special to us. Sorry, guys.
Sorry,
and we love you guys.
That was impromptu.
That was
we
impromptu.
just love each other.
It's a twin thing.
But we love Billy too.
I do. Like, literally every time I see like a Billy Preston video, or it kind of makes me very emotional. Like, I don't know why. Like, I just feel like because he was so, I feel like a lot of his trauma, he was so misunderstood, but he had such a great heart. Like, from the stories that our mother has told us, like our Auntie Shaka
Our
has
mom
told.
always told us he was always so nice and always so happy.
Yes.
You can see that.
Yes.
You can hear that through the
music. Like, even though he may have, like, you know, he went through his trauma, but he's had such a good heart, and you can hear that and you can see it. You know, while we're on the topic of 1975, our mother actually had the opportunity to be handpicked.
Our mom was a handpicked Soul Train dancer to dance with him and the Rolling Stones during their tour at the Forum down in Inglewood. So our mom got to experience that. She got to experience Mick Jagger and
him coming up to her
and
Mick
talking
Jagger.
about his expectations of what he would like to see from her and the other dancers. She got to experience Billy Preston and the Rolling Stones at the same time. Our mom
How
was that
cool is that? To also mention the home church that me and China, we were born in.
The Mount.
You know, also, I don't know if we've mentioned this in other videos, but you know, where we're from in Los Angeles, the gospel scene was very rich back in the day. Like, it was, you know, you have the James Clevelands, you have, you know, I mean, even Aretha Franklin would be out here, but the gospel scene was very rich back in those days in LA. Like, the church scene. So Billy Preston used to come to our church. This is before we were born.
Right.
But he used to come. We missed out. He used to come play the organ. Like, how cool is that? Like, we grew up in that rich history. Like, our mom always talked about him. Always showed us his music. Just always. Like, there would be, like, you know, back in the day, there was always a special on TV or, like, you know, something being re-aired, and mommy would be like, that's Billy Preston.
I will never forget being 9 years old and her getting the news that he passed. She was extremely sad. I will always remember that.
I just remember hearing a gasp.
Yes.
Like, she was hurt. But yes, that's why he is so special in our house. Like, I just get so emotional, like, thinking about him and reading about him, because I just feel like we have this personal connection with his gifts.
Yes.
And, like, you know, also growing up in the church and the pressures of certain things, and, like, he was just so special.
It's the purpose of us doing it. We just want to make sure that people know, first of all, the anointing. We use that word, but I just want to make sure people know, like, he did have an anointing on him. And a lot of our own people don't even know that You Are So Beautiful was written by a man from South Central Los Angeles. That song is in the Little Rascals, but people probably think, I mean, no shades anyone, but people probably think that this was written by, you know, some white person. Like, or this is like some folk song.
Exactly.
That song was written by Billy Preston, okay? That's a Billy Preston song.
Exactly.
Put some respect on that. I don't mean to be...
We're passionate
I'm
about
very
that.
passionate. I just don't want people to think that we have not contributed anything, when in reality, we have contributed everything. So I just want to put that out there, how important that is to make sure that these youngins know that song was
youngins.
I mean, I am young, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we are a different kind of young.
We are a different kind of young. We've been here before.
Right.
After being with A&M for 7 years, Billy signed over with Motown, and that is where he did his duet, his famous duet with Sarita Wright, with You I'm Born Again.
Throughout the 80s, Billy's career, his momentum, it did kind of die down a bit. However, he was able to still work as a session musician with the greats, because he was a great himself.
Right.
But he was still able to work with like Luther and Whitney and even Phyllis as a session musician, and he still maintained a relationship with the remaining members of the Beatles.
Right. So he was still with the right people.
Yes.
He just was not really in the forefront doing his own music.
He was going through a lot of personal issues, and I think it did stem from trauma from his childhood that was starting to resurface in his drug use.
Right. He did pass on in 2006 after still working. He was still working up until basically he got ill. And he did pass away in June of 2006. I love Billy Preston. I adore Billy Preston. Extremely special.
He was a gift. I want all the kids to watch that are watching this. I know, as corny as this may sound, if Billy Preston, a child, first of all, born during Jim Crow era,
right,
and he came here still during the Jim Crow era to South Central Los Angeles. If he can work with the Beatles, if he can work with the Rolling Stones, if he can work with Little Richard, shoot, I mean, whoever is popping in our day, we can do it too.
Exactly.
So I never want people to forget the importance of Billy Preston. A lot of things that you hear and his gift, that is Billy Preston behind that. Make no mistake.
Right.
But we hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And please tell us who you want to hear from next.
We love you guys, and thank you guys for your support and all the sharing. Continue to share and share this video with your friends and family. And please let us know, again, who you want us to do next, because we really enjoy this, as you can see. So we love you guys, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.